Everyone wants to be rich, but almost no one defines what rich actually means. Some people believe it's a luxury lifestyle. Others believe it's a certain income. And many think it's a number that magically removes anxiety once it appears in their bank account. But wealth doesn't work that way. Money doesn't change your psychology overnight. What changes your life is control. Control over your time, control over your decisions, control over risk. And in 2025, that control is determined by numbers, not emotions. Most people chase a feeling. They want to feel rich. They want the symbols of success before the structure that supports it. But feelings are unstable. Markets don't care how you feel. Inflation doesn't care how hard you worked. And life doesn't reward effort evenly. What matters is positioning. When your finances are positioned correctly, pressure disappears. When they aren't, no amount of income will save you. The mistake most people make is asking the wrong question. They ask, how much money do I need to be rich? The better question is, how much money removes urgency from my life? Urgency is the enemy of rational decisions. Urgency forces bad trades, bad jobs, bad investments, and bad timing. Real wealth eliminates urgency. In the United States, the idea of being rich is heavily distorted. Social media shows lifestyles financed by leverage. Advertising equates spending with success, and people compare themselves to outliers instead of distributions. But wealth is not about extremes. It's about where you fall, statistically. Percentiles reveal reality, and reality is far less glamorous and far more achievable than people think. Start with the top 10%. In 2025, reaching the top 10% of wealth in America does not require fame, luck, or extraordinary intelligence. It requires time, consistency, and restraint. It means you've accumulated assets. It means you've avoided catastrophic mistakes. It means your financial life is no longer fragile. At this level, money stops being a daily stressor. You're not worried about unexpected expenses. Your bills don't dominate your thinking. You have margin. But margin is not freedom. It's stability. You still depend on income. You still trade time for money. You still need things to go right. Many people reach this level and stop pushing. The pain is gone, so the motivation fades. But comfort is deceptive. Comfort can make you complacent, and complacency is dangerous in a world that constantly changes. Move higher and the picture shifts. The top 5% is where wealth begins to work independently of effort. At this level, your assets generate meaningful income. You're no longer fully dependent on a paycheck. You could step away temporarily, and your life would remain intact. This is where thinking changes. Money stops being something you earn and becomes something you allocate. Decisions become strategic instead of reactive. You start thinking in probabilities. You begin to understand that time is more valuable than status. But even here, freedom is incomplete. You still care about market cycles. You still manage risk actively. You still think about optimization. You have leverage, but you are not untouchable. Then there is the top 1%. This is where wealth stops being about consumption and starts being about insulation. Insulation from bad luck, insulation from bad decisions, insulation from volatility. At this level, money is no longer emotional. It is structural. Work becomes optional. Not because you don't enjoy it, but because you don't need it. Your wealth is diversified. Your downside is protected. Your upside compounds quietly. You don't need to be right all the time. You just need to survive long enough for math to work. This is the level where most people misunderstand what rich actually looks like. It's not flashy, it's calm, it's boring, it's invisible, and it's powerful. But numbers alone don't make you wealthy. Behavior does. Many people reach high net worth briefly and then lose it. Why? Because they never upgraded their thinking. They increased their income but kept emotional habits. They chased returns instead of managing risk. They spent before they stabilized. True wealth requires discipline long after success arrives. The same restraint that builds wealth must protect it. Without that, money becomes temporary. In 2025, this matters more than ever. Inflation has changed the baseline. What once felt like security now feels fragile. Expenses rise quietly. Volatility appears suddenly. And income alone is no longer enough. If your money does not grow faster than your lifestyle, you are not rich. You are exposed. High income without assets is a weak position. Skills fade. Industries shift. Health declines. Only systems endure. Most people want wealth so they can relax. That's the wrong goal. The real advantage of wealth is optionality, the ability to say no, the ability to wait, the ability to pass on opportunities that don't meet your criteria. When you remove urgency, your decisions improve. You invest better. You negotiate better. You live better. And this is what separates those who appear rich from those who are actually secure. The truly wealthy don't ask how much they can spend. They ask how much risk they can absorb. They don't chase maximum returns. They optimize for survival, because once you survive long enough, compounding does the rest. Real wealth is not about prediction. It's about preparation. Markets will change. Economies will cycle. Mistakes will happen. The question is whether your structure can withstand them. That's why simplicity matters. Complexity increases fragility. A bigger house increases fixed costs. A more expensive lifestyle increases dependency. Wealth that requires constant maintenance is not freedom, it's another job. The richest people design their lives to require very little effort to sustain. Their systems run quietly. Their expenses are intentional. Their money works even when they don't. Emotion is expensive. Over time, it costs more than fees, taxes, or inflation. Emotional spending erodes margin. Emotional investing destroys discipline. Emotional decisions compound regret. Wealth protects you from emotion by reducing pressure. When survival is guaranteed, patience becomes easy. And patience is one of the most powerful financial advantages available. So how much money do you actually need to be rich in 2025? Enough so that your future is no longer fragile. Enough so that bad years don't destroy you. Enough so that time works in your favor instead of against you. For some, that begins in the top 10%. For others, it requires reaching the top 5 or the top 1. But the exact percentile is secondary. What matters is resilience. Wealth is not about impressing others. It's about removing fear from your decisions. It's about building a structure that allows you to think clearly while others panic. If you want real richness, stop chasing symbols. Stop comparing lifestyles. Start measuring durability. Build assets that don't need your attention. Reduce dependencies. Trust systems over impulses, because in the end, the richest people are not the ones who spend the most. They are the ones who need the least from the world to feel secure. And that kind of wealth is built slowly, quietly, and deliberately over time.